Hi, Danny. I'm Travis. I think your name's Danny Flood. Danny Flood. Thanks for sending me these videos. Sorry for the delay. It is the weekend, so it just took me a minute. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so we're probably most concerned about that right here. It looks like your feet are pretty high. Yeah, your hips are a bit low. Feet are higher than your hips, but you're making it. So it looks pretty good there. Um, yep, same thing. And I did watch these ahead of time, just so you know. I'm not watching them for my first time right now. All right. And okay. So you have a common thing going on. One, feet go too high. Two, you are still traveling backward when you go to transition. I can't tell how long the straps are that you're swinging from, but they look rather long. What I have to say to that is that long straps take longer to move. And it's just because of the angle of the strap. So the longer it is, the lesser the angle of the strap. Sorry, I'm trying to fit my bubble here. The longer the strap is, when it moves like the same distance, we'll say it moves, I don't know, where are you, US? Say it moves a foot and a half forward, right? Maybe you only have like 8 degrees of an angle in the strap if it's really long. Whereas if you have a short strap and you move it a foot and a half forward, it's at like 30 degrees. This makes a big difference because that angle pushes you around a lot. In your case, these look rather long, at least in proportion to your body. And so when you jump up, what's happening here is you're jumping into like this grab position. I actually teach a thing I call the chest bump ring grab. This will work. Where your arms are kind of like straightish, but your body will be more like this with the feet behind. And the reason why I teach this is because it takes a little bit of time. So say you jump up, sorry. And this happens sometimes. Just drag it from the top. So you jump up, the ring strap isn't exactly vertical, it's a little bit behind. And what it does when you grab in this kind of like what I call chest bump position, it takes a moment for your legs to kind of come down and then you can swing them up and out. And in that amount of time, the rings have kind of traveled forward a little bit. Here you can see that they do travel forward right here. But if you watch where your hips are up and then they're coming back down. And when they're going up and coming back down, they're on the front side of the vertical post. I mean, assuming that I'm looking at this right. So we look at the floor here, that means the post is there, and your hips are over here. So your hips are quite the distance in front of, say, this part of the vertical plane. So when your hips are here, it's okay, especially on the backswing, it's okay, but we want the hips to travel backward. So when you go to do the transition for the muscle up itself, that your hips are kind of going back to forward and upward. And that's kind of what is not happening here. So if you watch where your hips are, they're with the post, now they're traveling backward. And as you transition, they're going up, right? But they're not going forward, they're kind of going backward. And so when you catch, you're behind the rig. Like I said, I kind of prefer people to be like, say, back here, like this, holding on the ring, sorry, not holding on your butt, and then shooting their hips up and forward. This is helpful because the rings are in front of you at this point. If you're traveling backward, then the rings are a little bit behind you. Okay, so that's kind of like the main thing there with the timing of the rings. So this all starts from here, you grab. If you can just pause, even if you just hang out here for a minute, I mean, it'd be weird to hang out in this position, but if you hang out here, pause for a moment, and then kick your legs out, it's going to set you going back a little bit better. And really, if you did what you're doing right now on short straps, your timing would be phenomenal. Because short straps would push your hips backward, and then it would shoot you up and forward. So when you do longer straps, you either swing less or you have to take longer during the swing. If you want to swing less or like maybe avoid this altogether, you just start, instead of jumping from here, start with your feet directly beneath the rings, looking up, and then you just jump straight up, grab them, and then kick your legs out, and then that will actually put you in a better position than what you're in right now. So option, probably the easiest option, just stand more beneath the rings the longer the strap is. The next thing, we'll look at a different video here, but next thing is right here. So this is kind of like the last moment that you have to save all this momentum from your legs from going up. And the way I look at it, look, a lot of people, they're always talking about like do hip extension, like pop your hips or whatever. And then when people do, they tend to bend their knees. They start going up this way. They actually end up leaning back quite a bit, but then they try to shoot their hips out, and then they end up quite horizontal. So they'll be like this with their head out here and their legs down, like, you know what I'm talking about. And then sorry, this looks weird. This is your hips, that's your knee, and then your foot is supposed to be down here. Terrible drawing. Regardless, let's see what happens here. So you're quite horizontal, and that's what I would want to avoid. So my general rule is feet should always be beneath the hips, and hips should always be beneath the shoulders. So never should your lower body go higher than its upper body counterparts. And here we go. Feet never actually go higher than the knees, but if you see than the hips. But if you see the knees come up quite a bit, so if your legs stayed straight, they would be, oh, Jesus, come on. Geez, man, sorry. It's hard to scroll on this thing. I got a tablet and a pen and all this stuff and just can't even stop it. So your feet, if your legs were straight, would be like way up here, right? I actually want people to keep their legs straight because you get the most speed out of your feet when they swing through on a swing, and then you can utilize that speed and momentum for the upper body. So let me just tell you what I would recommend, because here you can see your feet end up going up quite a bit. You bent your knees and you end up having to straighten them anyway, so might as well keep them straight in the first place. And that's what makes you feel like you got to fold in half like a taco, right? So when you swing here, right there, jack those legs backward. So I'm just going to draw, never mind what your body's doing here. When your feet are out, hold on. When your body is about to muscle up, you're going to be leaning back just a little bit in your upper body. This looks weird. And then, but your feet are coming up super fast. And then what I want you to try to do is move them like fire backward as hard as you can with straight legs. Slight straddle helps, but basically flick your feet out and then snap them back as if somebody's going to slap the crap out of the top of your shoe. That causes your hips to extend, but also to try to get your lower body to rotate backward. The result is it makes your upper body want to rotate forward. I've got a drill. I'll send that to you. 2 drills. It's a low L to straddle slow. You do that one first. Low L to straddle fast. You do that one second. And then you swing your feet forward and snap them back like that. It'll keep your feet low. You'll get up and over the top, a lot faster. And Danny, sorry for the delay. I hope you had a great weekend, and hello from Sydney. If you need any more help, let me know. I will send this to you on a YouTube link, as you will obviously see when you receive this. And if you want to do the free trial, maybe this is something you want to continue, I'll have the link in there. Otherwise, I hope this does help, and no worries. Okay, have a nice one.